trip starts today. We've just picked up the keys and the cars that go with the keys.
You only have one car.
With the car that goes with the keys. I don't know that much about cars, but it's very cute and it's a Hyundai. Anyway, today we are leaving Vientiane and we're heading towards Thakhek. Whoa. Still way too hot. It's a very spontaneous trip that we're doing. We kind of planned it a little bit last minute, but essentially what we're planning to do is to start here in Vientiane and work our way further down south. We're eventually dropping off the car in a place called Thakhek, and from there we're hoping to make our way to the 4,000 islands. But on the way, to make this make total sense, if you've been to Laos before, you probably would have figured out already what we're planning on doing. But if you haven't, there is a very popular loop called the Thakhek Loop, which is essentially a very beautiful route that a lot of people take their motorbikes on, or some people in cars also, like us. We are heading to Thakhek today, which is quite a long drive, and we don't really know anything about this loop yet. So we're hoping that when we get there, we'll be able to figure a lot of stuff out. We're staying there a couple of nights, so tonight, once we're driven for a whole long day, and then tomorrow is the recon day, figuring all this stuff out.
I think you can take a minimum of 3 days, but you can take as long as you want, really, staying there along the way, going to waterfalls, going to sites, and just seeing the amazing landscapes. I think we're gonna take maybe 3 days. We haven't fully planned it, but we only have this car for a week, and we also want to get down to Thakhek after finishing it. So 3, maybe 4 days is max the time that we're gonna have to do this Thakhek Loop. And one of the reasons we chose, or many reasons we chose to take a car rather than a motorbike is because of safety. Like, these roads in Laos are not the safest. They're not even roads in some cases, and we have loads of bags. It just doesn't work with a motorbike, so we can put these all in the boot.
The car is a big one. I don't know that much about cars, but it's got a big boot.
And while it's hot in Laos, we'll have AC, but the loop is a little bit elevated, I think, and people said that if you're on a motorbike, it can get a little bit cold. So we will have comfort of heating inside of our vehicle. That's also nice.
Road trip!
Cheers!
Woo! You have to whoop with me.
Whoop whoop! If you're ever in Vientiane, this hotel, really good.
It's called Urbanite. It's been very nice.
Let's go check out and show you our little vehicle, shall we? Bye.
Okay, so here is our very own Creta Hyundai. Look how cute he or she is. Yeah. We haven't named her or him or they yet. It's so cute.
So this is our vehicle for the next week. It is a Hyundai Creta 1.6 diesel. It's got 4 doors and a boot.
Yes.
It's got air conditioning. It looks brand new. I'm not sure which year it is because the number plate doesn't have the year on it like it does in the UK, but it looks awesome. Can't wait to drive it. It's automatic, which is something I really wanted because with a manual, driving on the other side of the road for me, it just feels a bit wrong. So now I can just drive this like a little go-kart, like the EV vehicle in Luang Prabang that we drove, but this is way more comfortable. A proper car. Good thing about this car is don't need to put the key in the ignition because it's one of those push-to-start cars, which is nice.
You can already tell that Dylan loves cars way more than I do. I just love road trips, and the cars are obviously part of that. But what's nice about this one is that it's very big. I can have my legs straight, and I moved my seat forward, so I was sitting kind of next to Dylan, because when I first got in, it was all the way back, and I had so much leg space, I was like, felt like I was sat in the back seats. It's got aircon, music machine, and what do you call that? Audio system?
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. Music machine.
Before we head out on this very long journey, it's about 6.5 hours, I think I'm gonna drive around the town or the city of Vientiane a little bit first just to get used to this. Quite a big car actually, but it's brand new and automatic, so I think it'll be pretty easy. Right, shall we?
Yes.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Wow! I'm just gonna do a loop of this, I think, and then we'll stop and then we'll check the maps to see how far it is to get to Thakhek.
And before we get on the proper road all the way to Thakhek, we definitely need to stop off and get some snacks, some food, some water, Probably some more coffee.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long day. I think I've had enough practice now going around this roundabout. And let's pop this hotel name into the Google Maps. Let's see. It says 6 hours and 45 minutes, which should mean that we arrive at 8. I really didn't want to be driving at night, but there pretty much is nowhere else to stop along the way, so maybe for the first night I'm gonna have to do it.
One thing we did check for the hotel is that they have 24-hour reception, so they'll definitely be there when we arrive, whenever that may be.
Okay, where should I put this phone? There's nowhere to put the phone. That's the one annoying thing. You can hold it.
Yeah.
You can tell me where to go.
Thank you very much.
Alright then, seatbelts on. Let's go. You gonna tell me which way?
Right. And then around the...
That is left. We cannot turn right.
Left.
It's so cool driving automatic. You just don't have to do anything. It just changes gears for you. Obviously, that's the whole point. Alright, Thakhek, here we come.
So as you might be able to tell, right now we are parking up. We have spotted a supermarket. It's a Rimping, so I think it's one of those fancy imported supermarkets. But we do like fancy imported crisps. So let's go.
The supermarket situation in Laos and Vientiane and Luang Prabang, anyway, isn't that great. We haven't been able to find shops, like proper shops, until we came to Vientiane. There was some mini big C's.
Yeah.
But you know, we're used to Thailand where there's a 7-Eleven anywhere and there's like 2 next to each other as well, which is stupid, but it's very convenient. Right, let's find the Rimping, shall we? That's nice.
Yeah, this is huge. Something for the road, but also some pot noodles for the actual road itself in case there's nowhere to eat. I'm sure there would be places to eat.
Oh, you mean some of these?
Yeah.
Let's grab one of those.
Yeah, this is like a mega pack.
It's got 5 in there. Will we need 2? Just in case on the road trip.
These are like the best instant noodles. They're from Korea, so they're imported, so they're already a little bit more pricey. 75,000 kip for 5 of them, which is what?
$4?
$4?
Still though.
But $1 per pack, less than $1 per packet. It's not bad.
Always a good shot.
Yep. Put those in the basket. Oh, the double stuff. Did you get regular stuff?
Yeah, they get double.
And
double.
regular, yeah.
No, just the one first. Please.
Oh yeah. The problem is I'm hungry right now, so everything looks and sounds amazing.
Yeah. Just in case we get stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Ah. Why aren't we driving that? It's an orange Lamborghini there. One day, maybe.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind one. Let's get some food. Maybe another coffee. Oh.
No, I want something cold.
Can I have 2 iced caramel macchiato? Is it possible to have caramel?
It's like a beast of an iced coffee.
It looks really good.
So big.
Oh, that is caramelly. I like that a lot.
Pak Song Lao. I think they make their own coffee as well. Right, we still haven't had anything to eat.
Just more coffee, woo!
Food is one thing that's a little bit of a struggle here in Laos. Just finding it. Like in Thailand, you can kind of find food everywhere. Here, it's like there's not that many restaurants, I feel like.
And then when you do find food, it is normally restaurants, so it's not that much street food and not that many supermarkets, so there's no convenience food. Trying to find some food whilst we're driving through reasonably fast is also very difficult because I'm sure some of those places may have had something that I'd be able to eat. I'm sure they would have, but we don't really have the time right now to go and search for anything. Oh! I think they're making actual sandwiches because there was a picture of a pig as well.
Should we just stop?
Yeah. Oh, and this lady too. Maybe. Back in the car now, and the pig was a little bit misleading perhaps because Everything had pork inside. These are 2 pork sandwiches for Dylan. The only thing that they could make vegetarian or not have pork inside was literally a sandwich just with a bit of papaya inside. And I thought, I don't know if I want just white bread with papaya. So we got these little treaties. There's 2 of them.
Or something? A bean?
I think he said green bean, but there's this one and this one. I hope the camera's focusing on that, which look a little bit like they would be maybe for, I don't know, for offerings or something, just because they look so fancy and they all had this little red stamp on them. I don't know if I'm meant to be eating them, but we bought them. He didn't say anything. He was very nice.
I'm sure you can eat them.
I mean, they're edible for sure. I just don't know if I'm like supposed to be eating them.
We need to get back on the road.
Yeah, we need to get back on the road.
ASAP. No more stopping now.
I need the toilet. No, I'm just gonna
You better not. The roads have turned completely red. I probably would say these are not really roads, they're just dirt and very bumpy. The guy said, the guy who rented us the car said, make sure not to go fast over these bumps or your tyres and suspension will get ruined. Now it makes a lot of sense. One thing we haven't done yet is we haven't named this car.
Yeah!
We forgot to name it.
After a long and hard deliberation regarding the name, we were thinking Bert. Bertie. I sound super British when I say Bertie, because otherwise I say Birdie, and it sounds like I'm talking about a little Tweety bird. Bertie, the badass.
The name of the car, Creta, is just not nice.
Yeah, the official name of this Hyundai type of car is called Creta, which sounds very much like cretin and like insecty. I don't know, I don't like it at all. Okay, so the saga continues. The roads are a little bit better. The roads are asphalted, much better. A lot of big trucks though, and there was some real insane looking buses that were just bombing it down and trying to cut traffic. It was pretty intense.
If any bus comes near me, I'm just letting them go. They are insane.
Oh yeah, we're not arguing with anyone. We're just taking a step back and letting anyone that wants to pass. We're just driving calmly and safely. Anyway, we need to do some driving. Bye. Another 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Just pothole after pothole after pothole. Sometimes I'm on the other side of the road because there's just so many potholes, and we went over one just now. It sounded a little bit too loud, you know what I mean? But it's all good, it's all good. It's just a shame that this road trip is just an A to B and we're not able to stop and view all these nice landscapes, but that's to come later on in the road trip. This road trip to Thakhek is just the getting there, you know what I mean? Finally made it after, what, like 8 hours? That ride was so much longer than expected. It was just so many potholes and it was so dark, there was dust everywhere, but something really weird was happening throughout that journey. And I don't know if you can help me with this, if you're from Laos, if you know the driving around in Laos, especially at night. Loads of people were flashing their lights at us. And that usually indicates that you've got your big lights on, but we had the small lights on, and then when there was no cars, we had the big lights on. So when they were flashing us, we're flashing them back. But does that mean that they're driving really fast and then they want to let us know that they're there? Because pretty much like 80% of the cars were flashing us. Either that or the lights on this car are pointed up way too high and they're just going into people's eyes. But anyway, we made it. Let's go check in. It's about 10 o'clock now. We've been on the move since about 2, I think.
This is cool. Our hotel looks so cool.
Yeah.
Supposedly that's it, according to Google Maps, which looks way nicer than the photos that we looked at, which already looked nice. If we get chased by dogs now, I won't be able to run very fast.
Nice. Give a very quick tour before we go to sleep.
Yes, okay. Silent.
Turn this Thai lady off.
I don't know why he turned that on. He's like, oh, let's make it cozy in here, let's get the news. Bed, probably a beautiful view. No, that's not, there's nothing. Anyway, pretty decent feeling bed.
Basic shower.
Yeah, basic shower, basic toilet.
But perfect for what we need for 2 days, just to put our heads down, ready for this Thakhek Loop. But I'm absolutely shattered. I'm gonna have to go move the car. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Do you want me to make you some noodles?
I think it's even too late to eat. I think I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.